And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. With me, I have the Western Wonder himself from the Western Reviews podcast. He traveled all the way from the west all the way to the south just to be on this show. And we're going to be talking about the Holly Shorts Film Festival selected film, Birdie the Brilliant. And this is going to be a non-spoiler review. This is also a short film review. So, without further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's get on with the review. I'm excited to have Western here. We are both excited and honored to be able to review Birdie the Brilliant. And hey, Western, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, John?
I'm doing fantastic, and it's good to have you on here talking about Birdie, about this film, and everything. So here's the thing: Birdie the Brilliant actually follows the heartwarming story of a young boy named Birdie who lives with his grandmother. Upon learning that his favorite gender-fluid drag king magician Maya the Magnificent will be performing for one night only at the casino where his grandmother works, Birdie begins picking up some light work or anywhere he can find to save up for a ticket to see his idol. So that's pretty much the synopsis of the film. I do like how this movie starts off, where basically I actually had in my notes where it's like the opening sets the tone for Maya the Magnificent, and I even put down the fact that this feels like a casino kind of vibe to it because of the stage and the way it sets. I'm like, okay, so this is actually based on a casino. Then all of a sudden, I get a casino commercial within this in this movie. I'm like, oh, here I am stating the obvious of it. But I like the fact that we actually have Birdie who's watching this as if we're watching it for the very first time, and she's idolizing Maya. So I definitely like that aspect to it.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I do like the casino format. It's not quite, it feels like a small, intimate casino show in a Vegas hotel or something. It just really puts you in. And something else I kind of liked about it coming into it, it's very colorful. I mean, compared to a lot of stuff I've seen over the past couple of months where the colors just go up and down, this is just colorful throughout. That's something, it's a warm welcome. I like the colors.
I do too. I like this color scheme of it. I like the purple. It's like a welcoming thing to us as the audience to welcome into this world of this innocence of this child, Birdie, watching her idol for the very first time. And yeah, the color scheme definitely matches with how how Birdie is actually feeling about Maya. So that's something I really like about it. Yeah. But then we're actually introduced to the grandmother, who is actually a housekeeper, and the maids, and she goes, "Oh, want to see a magic trick? I have a magic trick for you. Watch this." And I like how
this whole segment,
this whole entire montage of them cleaning the hotel, but it's there for a reason. It's not there just to be funny. But I like how it turns into like a 1950s or 60s magic show featuring the maids. But it's all about hard work and dedication and feeling passionate for what you do and having the pridefulness of doing what you love. So that's what I got out of her teaching that value over to Birdie.
Definitely. I definitely was not expecting that. Should we talk about another element early on that we were both not expecting?
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute because that actually threw me off, but not in a bad way. But it actually fits what Birdie is actually picturing in her mind. But we always do that when we're young kids anyways. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But we're also introduced to the douchebag Jerry, who's actually in charge of the housekeeping staff. And I actually put down Jerry as a douchebag. He does not care about these maids. All he cares is about the business aspect of it. And of course, you also have Birdie, who's actually hiding in a hot tub while he's inspecting the room because Birdie is not supposed to be there. But what is the grandmother supposed to do when, in fact, she's raising Birdie on her own?
Right. It's something like that. It just feels like a slice of lifey sitcom between the douchebag manager not suspecting the kid at all. It's just got the usual beats, but it's so good.
It really is. It really is a great short film. And okay, so the part that Western and I were talking about that really threw us off is the fact that, okay, after the montage, after all that, they go into the laundry area. which is a commercialized industrial washer and dryer. And all of a sudden, it breaks into like a Broadway show of her picturing herself as a magician, picturing Birdie as a magician with Maya. And I like how they break into the song. You even have like a little wiggle with the guy who's wiggling his butt a little bit as well. Like, what the heck is going on here? But
Right.
it has that flavor of innocence about her picture, about Birdie picturing himself and everything, what it would be like to be with Maya and stuff like that. And we do that all the time when we were kids and stuff like that, imagining people that we would want to see for the first time and things like that,
Right.
realizing the people that we actually watch.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That musical moment also definitely took me by surprise. It kind of felt like, Disney kind of took over the short for a second there and said, this is what you could be getting if this was a full-fledged Disney show. Musical numbers every 5 minutes.
But I think that this actually fits the vibe. I'm glad that they didn't put this in there every 5 minutes or anything like that. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
becomes a musical. But I actually like how it turns into like a Broadway play in a sense, or a small Vegas show.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it feels like, a small Vegas show, because and the set turns from a movie all of a sudden into like a musical atmosphere. I thought it was actually pretty neat how they play off the narrative of that. And then, of course, you have the whole entire scene where they go into the dryer and then you see Maya pull Birdie out. And then here they are in the magician outfit. And Birdie, he looks really cute. He's idolizing Maya in this purple glitter on his face and everything to mimic Maya. This is heartwarming. This is actually a fantastic short film. But what did you think that whole entire aspect, how it changes from a big, huge widescreen angle, then all of a sudden you get like a short screen angle that feels like more like a stage play from Broadway or a Vegas show?
You know what I did like the transition is definitely something different, kind of seeing the perspective from how Bertie was seeing Maya on TV, and then finally, coming out and getting a smaller screen, interacting. There's so many dazzling effects. The wardrobe looks amazing, very smooth. I would want to go and take some of the pieces of their wardrobe and try to be a magician myself, even though I wasn't really into magic like that growing up. But looking back, I was
Either
like,
I
man,
was not. I was not into magic, but what were you into as far as stuff goes, and who were you idolizing that you wish that you could have seen for the very first time?
well, you might get a kick out of this. Now, you see, before I was the Western Wonder, I was more of the Southern Wonder. I wanted to be a farmer. And the closest person that really inspired me to be that I probably would have seen was Bob the Builder, who probably built stuff around farms and things. That was my idol growing up, so to speak. Well, also Sesame Street, but they weren't working on farms; they were in New York, like a different situation. But I wish I had a scenario where I can interact with Bob the Builder, but unfortunately, like Birdie, which Maya is actually a real person. Bob the Builder's a cartoon. I'm not. So that probably would never happen. So eventually, I moved on from farmer to writing and other things. But that was my aspiration. What was yours?
Mine would actually be, you know what? I've always thought of this and everything too. Like the very first thing I could think of that I actually remembered was probably just wanting to be an actor
That makes sense.
or review movies. So basically, I am following that dream
Yeah, yeah.
in
What
a
happened to that
sense.
dream?
Right. Whatever happened to that? I don't remember. But who I also idolized at the time too, that I could remember wanting to save tickets up for and things like that, would be for like an Aerosmith concert back when I
Yeah.
was a teen and wanting to save up money for that concert, but that never happened.
Wow,
So
man.
back to this part though. I also like the chemistry between the grandson and also the grandmother. I thought that was really good. Then
Yeah.
you also have the whole entire thing was like basically Birdie wants to save up money for these tickets. The tickets are $60, and I like how the grandmother's like, well, and of course Birdie's over there going, well, I can sell my Legos. I'm sure I can get some money for that. Yeah, you could probably get about $3 for your Lego.
Yeah, yeah, because you can probably see Legos at Goodwill.
Right. But I like how she teaches Birdie the value of $1, of
Mhm.
trying to save up money for something and giving him an allowance to save up for what he wants and have that pridefulness. Like she taught Birdie up inside the hotel room. And so the whole entire then we get a montage of Birdie learning stuff in the library. We also have investing for kids. We also have another thing where basically Birdie winds up helping the grandmother with the laundry. You had also Birdie helping the grandmother out with the dishes, and then helping with the sewing to get to what Birdie wants. And that's something that I do appreciate
Yeah.
with it. And then also too, it also teaches you have to spend money to make money. So what does Bernie do? He winds up taking $3 of profits and winds up deciding I'm going to go and basically buy some water bottles, buy some water with and sell it. And he winds up making the whole entire all the money up and spends it. And then the grandmother winds up losing her job.
Yeah.
And yeah, but how did you feel about all that?
Yeah, when the scene when she got fired was probably another reason why I'm glad Disney probably did not pick this up as a whole show, because they definitely would have put a lot of emotion in scenes like that, talking about the grandma's backstory and everything. And I'm not trying to get emotional, so it's probably for the best. But yeah, a lot of those scenes, trying to teach the values of money and friends and everything, kind of reminded me of growing up with my grandma a little bit, minus the firing part because both of my grandmother were retired before I was born. But I really like the chemistry between Bertie and the grandmother. I think that really brought a lot of joy and a lot of value to the story.
Most definitely. And it also teaches you that you should work for something rather than have something be given to you, because you have that feeling of being prideful of the fact that, hey, I made this money. I'm able to afford the things that I want to buy. I have to go out there and do it. And that's
Mhm.
exactly how this thing plays out. And then when the sewing machine gets broken, and I was like, okay, how is this going to play out? Is Birdie going to just go to the thing anyways? Peace, Grandma. I got my stuff. Good luck to you. But
Yeah, with the sewing machine. Bye.
sorry about your sewing machine. You should sell some water. But it does not play like that. Birdie is a very sweet, innocent child who winds up helping the grandmother out. And the grandmother is so moved that she winds up doing something for Birdie. And we're not getting it into that part,
Yep.
but I just thought it was a sweet aspect to it.
Right. So fortunately, we can't get to that part because the movie kind of gets a little Home Alone like. Make with that information what you will. Closer to the end.
Right. Because this is a non spoiler review. This movie also clocks in at 25 minutes. So I want you guys, whenever this thing gets released to the public, to be able to watch this with viewership eyes, something that you haven't seen before or anything like that either.
Yeah.
Because I want you guys to enjoy just like how we enjoyed it. But I just like that whole entire thing where Birdie is just a sweet, innocent boy who's trying to look out for his grandmother, just as the grandmother's looking out for him. I think that this was a great short film. I think no wonder why it was picked at the Hollyshorts Film Festival. No wonder why,
Yeah.
and it's been a long time since we actually had something like this with this lightheartedness. Everything's been so dark and grim lately. We need a little bit of Maya the Magnificent in our lives. And
Yes, a lot more color.
yes, a lot more. And my son and I watched this together, and
Wow.
he's 11 years old, and he's all over the place. He winded up watching the whole entire movie with me.
Wow.
So this goes to show you that this is geared towards kids. Kids are gonna love it. My son loves it, and I watched this thing about 4 or 5 times already, so I can do the review. But not only because I want to do the review, but because of the fact I enjoyed this movie so much.
Right. Yeah, I hope this kind of makes it to the Oscars. Hence the reason why you mentioned it was kid friendly. I can't make the particular joke I was going to make about a particular short that was nominated at the last ceremony. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I can't, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yep. Let's just say it's his year below the waistline.
Yes.
So,
Now it'll be his year of magic.
right. But still, I mean, I was never the person who was always into magic or anything like that. I was just the
Yeah.
person that was into movies things like that, and TV shows, and also video games
Toys,
every time.
yeah, definitely not magic.
No. A matter of fact, I actually had a friend that was into magic and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, good luck to you. Because but it's just heartwarming to see someone that's passionate about their dreams and find inspiration with Maya. So that's
Yeah,
something that I do admire. But
absolutely.
is there anything else that you want to add to the review or anything like that?
I think that is all that I have to add. I mean, just really a great short. This is my first short film review, so it was definitely a great start to hopefully many more to come down the line because I really like this one.
Me too. And guys, when this thing gets released to the public, I will post a link in the comments below in the description box, like I did with some of the other movies that I reviewed. So this movie's not released to the public yet, but when it does, I will keep you guys in the loop. I will message the director, the publicist, and stuff like that to find out when it will be. Therefore, you guys can go on ahead and check it out. But anyways, that's going to be it as far as this review goes. I will be back tomorrow night with another short film review starring Tony Todd. And that, yes. And we're not supposed to say his name, Western. What are you doing?
One time. Just one time.
Okay. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for tonight's show. I hope everyone has a great and safe night, and we'll catch you back on the next one. Talk to you guys later.